Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amber Westbrook and today I'm feeling in the holiday spirit, so I am making this ruffled tree skirt for under my tree. I think it looks so adorable and I can't wait to show you how to make it. So let's get started. I'm going to start the project by making a square. This is going to be the base, so it doesn't really matter what fabric you use. I'm using cotton muslin, which is super cheap and easy to come by, and I'm making it a 34-inch square. So this way I can make a circle for my tree skirt. So to make the circle, I'm just going to fold it in half and then half again into a triangle. And I'm going to measure down 17 inches and mark a few spots all around the side so that it can be a curve. And then I'm just going to go ahead and cut one of the sides and fold it over so that it's symmetrical on the other side, and I'll have a perfect circle. Once I've done that, I'm just going to repeat this process, but I'm going to go 2.5 inches down and I'm going to cut out the hole for the tree skirt. I kind of wish I had only done 2 inches for this. 2.5 was kind of bigger than I expected, but it still turned out great. So whatever you decide totally works. But yeah, 2.5 inches down is what I cut. Once I had that little tiny circle cut out, I opened it back up so that it's a half circle, and I just cut one of the sides straight up so that it has a place to open and wrap around the bottom of the tree. And then I went ahead and serged all the edges. You can definitely use a zigzag stitch or a cover stitch on your sewing machine for this part. Then I went and marked the spots where I want my different tiers. So I went ahead and marked 3.5 inches, 7 inches, and 10.5 inches all the way around the entire skirt. And then I just matched up all of those marks that I had made so that I could have a line where I wanted to sew all the different tiers and they would be equally distant apart from each other. Once I had all my lines marked out, it was time to get out my fabric, and I did 5 inches for my strips, and I cut out 2 yards worth of strips. Now if you want a more specific and precise measurement, I've actually written down what I used. I used a 3 times gather, so I used almost 2 yards, about 65 inches, and each strip was 5 inches long. So then I had to sew the strips together so that they would be long enough for the larger tiers. I used my serger for this, but you're welcome to use a sewing machine. I just like to use my serger whenever possible, so I did that, and then I went ahead and I serged along the edge of all of my pieces once they were sewn together. I just serged them because I wanted to be able to just fold it under once instead of twice, but you're welcome to fold it under twice if you'd like. Okay, so then I moved on to my ruffler foot. Now, I hate this ruffler foot. I spent so long trying to get this right, and trust me, it never worked. Like, even on the ones that I did, it was skipping stitches, it was jamming my thread. So I found a better technique where I just scrunched up all the fabric with my fingers, hoping for the best, and you know what? It turned out exactly the same as my ruffler foot. Like, it looked better than what my ruffler foot had done. So I was not about to manually gather all of these tons and tons of gathers, and that would waste thread anyway, so I just went ahead, scrunched it all up, and sewed over it. Then I hemmed the bottom. I would recommend swapping out these 2 steps because I should have hemmed the bottom before I ruffled it, because that would have been so much easier, but yeah, just learn from my mistake and don't do the same thing because that was difficult. Once that was done, all that was left to do, it was just sew on all of my ruffles to the base that I had made earlier. This part was actually the easiest part. It wasn't hard at all. All I had to do was follow along the lines that I had drawn. But make sure you check your bobbin after sewing so many layers, because I literally sewed the entire bottom layer on before checking my bobbin, and I had to sew it twice. So yeah, check your bobbin, people. It's really annoying to run out. Anyway, once I sew on all of the tiers, I just make sure that everything is straight, all of my gathers are facing the right way, and it's all nice and smooth. And for the last tier, I honestly should have started from the other side so I wouldn't have to shove all of these tiers through the little tiny hole in my sewing machine, but you know, live and learn. Once I finished that, it was time to just fold over the raw edge on the top part, which was more difficult than I thought because of all of the gathers, but you know, I definitely could have put like some bias tape or made some bias tape out of extra fabric. But yeah, at this point I had done so much work with the gathering and the ruffles that I was just tired out, so I decided to just fold it under. And then I went down the sides of each of the sides and I kind of just tacked down with my serger the raw pieces and then folded under both sides as well so they were nice clean edges. And that's it, guys. It was super simple. I mean, it took a little bit of time, but it was really easy, and I'm super pleased to say that I love the final result. I'm so happy with it. I think it just looks totally adorable. I am just over the moon about this. This is so awesome. I can't wait to put some presents under there and have it just look super festive and fun for the holiday. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more content just like this. I hope you have a very happy holidays, and I'll see ya in the next video.